is he starting a business? Why is he running for president? Why is he doing this? And I think we tend to get in a herd mentality and not pushing the boundaries and seeing what we can become. And greatness is on the other side of adversity. Hey guys, I'm back with another episode of Mental Wealth. This podcast is used to express thoughts, experiences, and lessons. I aim to be as transparent as possible. If you enjoy an episode, please don't forget to like, comment, and tell a friend. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to Mental Wealth. In today's episode, I plan to talk about why believing in yourself changes everything. I think what is first good to talk about in this subject is why self-belief is essential for success, happiness, and resilience. With success, self-belief fuels achievement. People who believe in themselves take more risks and pursue bigger opportunities. Self-confidence allows you to push through setbacks instead of giving up. When you trust your abilities, you're more likely to take action, even when things are uncertain. And there's a lot of uncertainty in today's world. There will be uncertainty in everything you do. Many successful people credit their achievements to their unshakable belief rather than just talent and luck. What is it? It's a great quote. I think it's Kevin Durant. He said, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And this is very important because you can't rely on talent. I mean, there'll always be somebody more naturally talented than you, better looking, everything. So relying on talent only sells yourself short. When you have talent and you have self-belief and you have work ethic, it'll be great. This also makes me think about when you have two people applying for the same job. I know I've been applying for jobs the first time in my life, and I've gotten every job that I've applied for so far, so that's pretty great, I'd say, on my end. But I credit all of this to my self-belief. But even when I look at people applying for jobs, the one who believes in their self will speak with more confidence and will sound more certain in the things they say, versus somebody who doesn't. They tend to hesitate and downplay their skills. And even when you don't know what you're talking about, you have to have confidence. And even myself, like when I'm unsure about something I say, I make myself more confident. Or if I don't know something, I'll find something, I'll change the subject into something I'm more competent in, and this allows my confidence to shine through the uncertainty. I think this affects your happiness because your self-belief will create inner peace. People with strong self-belief don't seek constant validations from others. They don't need it. They understand their worth, which reduces self-doubt, anxiety, and fear of judgment. This is what has helped me. When you believe in yourself, you set boundaries. You pursue things that truly fill you, and you avoid toxic relationships and situations. And I find that even when I look at people when they're in relationships that don't really suit them, but they think this is the best they can get, or they think this is the best it gets. I think the best way people can navigate out of situations like this is looking at yourself. And once you start with yourself and you realize what you need to improve in, and when you work on yourself, this will allow you to be able to move forward and move out of battered relationships. Because a lot of people are in relationships that don't serve them in any kind of way, but they're not serving their self. And so when you're not serving yourself, you can't serve anybody else. And so when you don't think you deserve any better, you allow somebody to treat you any kind of way. I think a great example of this is somebody who believes in themselves will pursue their passions without fear and won't care what anybody else thinks or says. Instead of feeling trapped in unfulfilling relationships or a job, they will encourage their self to make a change. And this brings me back to the movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. This is one of my favorite movies. This is probably one of my favorite movies by Will Smith, period. And I think it started off as a book, but it's just like when you look at everything he went through, I forgot what kind of machine it was some kind of medical device he made or whatever. And literally nobody around him believed in it. His woman left him. All he had was his son. He was trying to get his son to daycare. He was trying to get a job. Just everything the man did. He studied night and day just to get this job. He loaned the man his last $5 to pay a taxi ride, and it ended up paying him back. And throughout the whole movie, the biggest thing was him believing in himself when nobody else did. And this makes me think about great things you will accomplish. You will accomplish these great things because you believed in yourself. Nobody else outside belief will move you as far as what you can move yourself with your internal belief in you. External belief only can help so much if you don't believe it to be true in yourself. I definitely think this helps your resilience too, because self-belief allows you to bounce back. Even when I think of me and this year, I didn't pass my license exam the first time. I didn't pass by 2 points, but I should be retaking it pretty soon. But even when I think about my situation, I wouldn't be able to bounce back and get back to studying and everything if I just didn't believe in myself. I kind of beat myself up for the first couple of hours, but then I sat back and thought about it. I'm like, dang, God let me get this close to passing. So he knew I could do it, but he just put me right there. And I was just right there. So it made me think I didn't work hard enough. And then so me just going back through the process, restudying the book, and I've read the book again and again, and I've started watching YouTube videos on various topics and everything related to my field. This has made me, even going back through this whole process, I was like, dang, I would have passed that exam. And there was a lot of work I didn't do. So it made me sit back, reevaluate everything I do, and I got back to the drawing board. I had to get back studying, and I found different ways to study. I even made a Quizlet so I could learn every psychotropic medicine because I didn't know them as well. I knew the brand name, but I didn't know the general names. And so this affected me because they asked me about Lexapro, and the generic name was Excita something, and when I seen the generic name I didn't realize it was Lexapro because I didn't study it like that. So then it made me learn everything, and I realized through the process of studying I didn't put enough work in, so I couldn't expect a grand result if I didn't put the work in. And I think this is hard for a lot of people to reflect and see on themselves, but I think once you are able to do this, you're able to grow. But life is full of challenges, failures, and setbacks. Without self-belief, these things can be overwhelming and you will quit. If you don't believe in yourself, you will quit. People who believe in themselves see setbacks as temporary obstacles, not permanent. Self-belief gives you the mental strength to keep going even when things seem impossible. And I've been up against a lot of impossible things lately. And I think a good thing to do is, instead of asking, what if I fail, you can ask, what can I learn from this? And I think one thing about self-belief is believing in yourself isn't about arrogance. It's about trusting your ability to grow, improve, and handle whatever comes your way. The stronger your self-belief, the more successful and happy and resilient you can become. And even when I think about myself starting a business, this has been very challenging. I would say I feel like I put out great content. I talk about great topics and stuff. It doesn't get nearly as much reach as I want it to, but I have to understand this is a journey, especially with starting a business. There's nobody in my family who own a successful business, so I'm definitely up against the impossible. I have no, I would say, good guidance to follow about it. Even when I tell people about the business I start in my family, they're not able to speak as much life into it because they don't understand. And majority of people are employees, and I hate to even say it like this, but when you're stuck in an employee mindset, you'll never understand why somebody would want to own a business. But I mean, I can own a business, I can employ my kids, I can employ family members, I can build generational wealth through owning a business. Nobody gets rich from working for somebody. And of course, I'm applying for jobs right now and stuff, but at the end of the day, I want to be able to hire people and give other people opportunities too. And that's impossible while working for somebody. Defining self-belief. Self-belief really means trusting yourself and your abilities, and also overcoming self-doubt and fear. Self-belief can affect different areas of your life. These different areas include your career in entrepreneur, because of course your confidence leads to risk taking and seizing opportunities. And even if you don't believe in yourself, you won't believe that this is an opportunity for you, so you'll never seize it. You'll never take charge. Self-belief affects relationships because believing in yourself helps you set boundaries and value yourself. A lot of people don't value themselves, so they aren't able to set boundaries and understand what they want and what they don't want. And I think what has helped me is basically finding the things I don't want. Because with me finding what I don't want, it helped me find what I do want. And so this has drastically changed even me dating, and now I'm about to be married at the end of the year. Well, closer to the end of the year. Probably like the start of the summer. So I wouldn't have never even got to this point if I didn't understand my self-worth. I would have never been able to live up to my potential if I didn't believe in myself. Self-belief also affects your mental health and your well-being. Self-belief combats your anxiety and imposter syndrome. And this even makes me think about, what book was it I read? The 48 Laws of Power. And they even talk about one of the rules where you act like a king to be treated like a king. And this has drastically shifted the way I carry myself. And because I would always hear the phrase and stuff, but when you really break down why this is and stuff, like in the book, it definitely transitioned my whole mindset. I hold my head high. If you see me out in Walmart or any store, I'll be smiling with my head high. I mean, a great look. It's just the way you carry yourself. So the way you carry yourself helps people carry you and understand like how they should approach you and stuff. I don't treat me. You see how nice, and I just got out of church. I dress up real nice every Sunday. I mean, every time I step out this house, I mean, I might look like a bum in the house or whatever, but I'm at the house. But there's no time you'll see me out anywhere and I'm not looking the part and playing the part, because I think it's one thing just to look it, it's another thing to play it and to be really you. And you don't read that book because that book is huge and it took me like a year probably to sit down and read it because it's not that interesting, so I have to read it in bits and pieces. But if you ever sit down and read that book, I would encourage you to really read that section and that rule in the book. Why most people struggle with their self-belief. Common reasons people lack self-confidence is fear of failure, rejection, negative self-talk and limiting beliefs, and childhood experiences and societal conditioning. The big thing with this is, what do they say? You got the crabs in the bucket situation. I think your environment drastically shifts your ability to take risk and believe in yourself. And if I believe if you don't see anybody around you taking any risk, it'll be harder for you to want to take action and take risks. Because we live in a comfortable society. People are used to their routines and everything. And so doing anything outside of a routine or outside the normal is kind of looked down upon. I wouldn't say just around the people around me, but I would say even in society, taking risk is like, why is he doing this? Why is he starting a business? Why is he running for president? Why is he doing this? And I think we tend to get in a herd mentality and not pushing the boundaries and seeing what we can become. And greatness is on the other side of adversity. Self-doubt is one of the biggest obstacles to success, happiness, and personal growth. It creates hesitation and fear and second-guessing yourself that can hold you back from reaching your full potential. Self-doubt prevents you from taking action. When you don't trust yourself, you hesitate. Instead of making progress, you overthink and procrastinate and avoid taking action altogether. You're paralyzed with the idea. Self-doubt convinces you that you're not ready. Even when you are, you'll never realize that you're ready. You've been ready for whatever opportunity is, you're already ready for it. You've already put enough work in. You've done everything you need to do. You studied, you read, you've done everything you need to do. All you gotta do is execute. I think a great example is you want to start a business, but you keep telling yourself, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? So you'll never take the first step. I think a great thing you could do is take small action even when you feel uncertain. Confidence grows with experience, not before it. Not having self-belief lowers your self-worth and creates fear of failure. If you're scared of failing, you will never start something. Every time I have conversations with people around me, I even see conversation online, a lot of people are just scared with the idea that they could fail. And people look at, what if everything goes wrong, instead of what if everything goes right. And me having this mindset has allowed me to beat uncertain circumstances, and for me to be able to try things that nobody else around me would try, or for me to be such a risk taker. I mean, I'm a gambler. Once I see the odds, I'm in there. Now, if every odd is stacked against me, I won't try it. But if there's 1% chance that I could succeed on anything, I'm doing it. And even like I think last episode I mentioned the Jeff Bezos thing, and when he started Amazon, and he told investors early in the company that it was only a 10% chance of it working. And now Amazon's a $1 trillion company who has some of the highest revenue out of any publicly traded companies other than Walmart. But he told people from the jump it was a 10% chance of it working, and he never let that hold him back from still pushing through. All he needed was a chance. Self-doubt makes you feel less capable and worthy than you really are. It magnifies your failures and makes you afraid to try again. And I think a great example of this is after being rejected from a job, your self-doubt makes you think, I'll never be good enough, instead of seeing it as a learning process. A great thing to do with this is reframe your failure as feedback. Every setback is a lesson that can help you improve. Not having self-doubt leads to indecisiveness and missed opportunities. Overthinking and self-doubt can lead to decision paralysis, the fear of making the wrong choice, so you make none at all. And this is what I find is more common than anything. You get paralyzed with decisions. I think a great example of this is you're offered a leadership role, but you doubt your ability, so you decline it. I think a great thing people can do is make decisions based on growth, not fear. If it challenges you, it's an opportunity for you to learn. Not having self-belief holds you back from personal growth. Growth requires stepping outside your comfort zone, but self-doubt keeps you stuck in that same comfort zone. You convince yourself that you're not ready, not talented enough, or that others are better. An example is wanting to improve your fitness, but self-doubt makes you think, I'm too out of shape to start, so you never do. And this has been a big misconception about people going to the gym and working out. I tell people all the time, I'm like, just walk every day, or you walk after you eat. It's just, people think success is so far away, but success is being able to do something consistently over and over again. Success is defined by consistency. And I think a lot of people don't see it as that. I think when you look at somebody's end result, it makes you paralyzed, and it makes you also see it as impossible to do, instead of looking at what did they do to accomplish this, instead of looking at the end result. Not having self-belief affects your relationships and your communication. Self-doubt makes you second guess yourself in relationships, friendships, and in professional settings. You might avoid speaking up, setting boundaries, or going after what you truly want. And a lot of people are settling in life, and it's settling in various areas of their life and don't realize it. Well, matter of fact, they do realize it, but it's easier to settle instead of taking a chance on what you believe. Great strategies to build self-belief are reframing negative self-talk. This starts by identifying and replacing limiting beliefs with empowering thought. Another thing that we can do is take small wins seriously. This is also what I kind of talked about last episode. I try to make my episodes build on each other, but taking small wins seriously. So this is getting 1% better at something every day. Confidence grows with action. Start small, and you're able to build momentum. Another strategy, surrounding yourself with supportive people. Your environment shapes your mindset. Limit negativity and limit negative people around you. Another thing, visualizing success. You train your mind to expect success instead of failure. This is one of the biggest strategies that you can do. And finally, embrace failure as a learning tool. Growth comes from setbacks. Rejection is redirection. Believing in yourself creates a domino effect. This starts by confidence leading to action. When you believe in yourself, you take action instead of hesitating. Action builds the skills and experience. The more action you take, the more you'll learn and improve. Growth attracts opportunities. Confidence and momentum make you stand out. People notice those who believe in themselves. And you attract new opportunities, whether it's careers, relationships, or personal development. And finally, success reinforces self-belief. As you experience wins, big or small, your self-belief strengthens. You start seeing challenges as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. And the cycle continues. More belief, more action, more success. I think a great thing for people to do is look at probably your favorite, your favorite athletes, entertainers, anything. Even when I think of Steve Jobs and how he got fired from Apple and they literally had to bring him back or they were going to go bankrupt and cease to exist. And now look at what Apple is today. And even today, without Steve Jobs, the company is lacking innovation. The revenue from the iPhone sales hasn't increased in 3 years. And they really haven't been able to innovate since Steve Jobs has not been there. And then you look at Steve Jobs, when he got fired from Apple, he started Pixar. And then you look at Elon Musk. I mean, I know he's a very controversial person right now. But even when he started PayPal and he took all of the money from his PayPal when PayPal got bought by eBay and then put everything into Tesla and Starlink. And people were telling him here, like, you gotta let one of these businesses die, because there's no way you'll be able to do it. There's no way you'll be able to succeed. And so he's literally sleeping on the floor at Tesla factories, doing everything he can to make the business succeed. And look at both companies today. Tesla's $1 trillion company, well, valued at, has $1 trillion valuation, and Starlink is probably, well, SpaceX. It's probably one of the most valuable companies that nobody knows anything about. And this all came from the man believing in himself. Even when I think about, what story is it? The Michael Jordan getting cut from his high school basketball team. If he would have just stopped at where he got cut, we wouldn't even know people. There would be no jump man anywhere. And the list goes on and on and on. If you enjoyed today's content, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with you for another one. Peace.